Hi, ladies. I am on the road headed home, and I always get some of the best, intuitive hits and guidance that I want to share while I'm driving. So I figured, let me just position my phone and record while I keep my eyes on the road, but I can still talk to you all. So, what I wanted to talk about is ways that we sabotage ourselves. So I work with a lot of women who are in their own way and they can't help but be in their own way. And they feel like their life's circumstances is what's blocking them from having what they want. When it comes to love, money, career, all of that. But they're not realizing that they have a lot more power and choice than they give themselves credit for, and that there are continually opportunities to make a different choice and go in a different direction presented to them regularly, but they are not making that choice. They are choosing to stay in the pattern that they're in. They are choosing to still continue living the life that they are living, and therefore they remain stuck. And they feel like there's some outside force, that is going to deliver them from having to ultimately make that choice, make that leap of faith. And it comes down to your individual choice. So it's like the permission that they're looking for to choose themselves, or to choose to invest in themselves, or to leave the relationship, or to do what it is they need to do to change their lives. They're looking for that to come externally. They're looking for signs. They're looking for girlfriends or family members to agree. They're looking to have it feel easy in order to know that that is what they need to do. But that's really not required. What's required is for you to trust your own self and to know, hey, I'm not happy with how things are currently going in my love life, career, financial life, home life, whatever the case may be. And that's all you need. That is enough of an indication that it's time to make a different choice. Especially if you're not uncomfortable in connection to a goal. Now, you may find yourself not really happy or feeling, like I said, uncomfortable in connection to something bigger that you want. And in those situations, you tap into what's motivating you and your greater desire, the big picture. And that is what will help you get through those moments where you feel discouraged or it's unpleasant or whatever. But when you're just, living a situation that's unpleasant just for the sake of living it, it's like, why? Why are you staying in this place that you do not have to stay in, and you have no plans to do anything about it? And every day or every week or every holiday, every night, whatever the case, you think about how you wish things were different, and you have not done anything significant to improve your situation. This is how we sabotage ourselves. This is how we continue to create the same reality over and over. One of my clients, I recently told her, you can't solve the problem with the same mind that created the problem. So I went back and looked. She has been contemplating coaching for over 2 years. Okay, this is 2 years that she's been in a complicated situationship where she has been wanting commitment from a particular man that she's been dealing with, and he's not given it. And all that she can say has happened now is, of course, we've had a couple of, more than a couple, but some great sessions. She's had some breakthroughs in the moment, but she's not seeing major shifts and results to the point where her life is different. She's talking about the same things now that she was talking about 2 years ago. She has the same frustrations now that she had 2 years ago with this relationship. So in essence, it's gone nowhere. It's gone in one big circle. And my thing is, you have to look at that and understand the thing you think is going to change things, like, oh, well, I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to just have one session with you, or I'm going to wait it out, or I'm going to have a talk with him, or I'm going to give him an ultimatum. You've done all those things. So, of course, we all want to resolve our problems at the lowest level possible and do the thing that's going to cost us the least as far as time, energy, hope, effort, money, whatever. But sometimes your situation is serious enough, and if your desire is big enough, you know you're going to need to go all in. You are going to have to do what's necessary. Here's another way that we sabotage ourselves. There's something that we need to do. One example is, I tell a lot of women you should get in therapy in addition to the coaching. And they resist. They don't do it. And these are women who have insurance. These are women who have access to the internet. During COVID, it was possible, and probably still is now, to do your sessions virtually. So you don't even have to leave the house. And these women hear me say that week after week, and they refuse to get into some kind of therapy. They have trauma from their childhood. They have trauma from previous relationships. They are dealing with anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, lots of things that need to be worked on in order to have a healthy relationship. And yet they continue to delay addressing those issues. Why? There's no good reason. There's no good reason. It takes, what? I'll say a half hour for you to go on psychologytoday.com. Find a clinician who specializes in the area that you need, or even if you don't know what you need, find a clinician whose picture you like, who accepts your insurance, who is accepting new clients, and who's in your area, or who is taking virtual appointments, and email them and ask to set up a session. It's very easy. I've done it. But you have to be at that point where you are serious and ready for change. And I think the people that get into coaching or they dabble in it, they, kind of test out sample coaching, and they don't get what they want out of it, they didn't fully commit to the process. Okay, so in this group, I continually reiterate that I'm making myself available to deal with day-to-day issues. Group members, they get free, well, it's not free, it's part of the membership, but there's no additional cost. Readings, so I can do card readings, I can do an intuitive read on your situation, I can give you guidance on how to interact with a particular male, or if you're on dating apps, look at your dating app, kind of help you get back out there. I'm available. And so many women do not utilize the resource in me that's available to them. And, I end up worrying, like, well, do they feel supported? Are they achieving their goals? Like, I don't want you to just sit here and hear what I'm talking about and be like, oh yeah, that sounds good, and then just go back to continuing to live the life you've been living and not see any changes. I want you to give yourself permission to want what you want and do what you got to do to get it. Don't look at it like, oh, well, why should I have to get a coach? Why should I have to sign up for all these dating apps? Why should I have to get a matchmaker? Why should I have to lose weight? Why should I have to go to therapy and all these things in order to get a mate? the bottom line is because that's what you have to do. And asking those questions is not helpful. All that does is leave you spinning your wheels, asking why, asking it's not fair, and I don't want to have to do that. Meanwhile, years are going by, months, years. Men are meeting women, getting in committed relationships with them, and going off the market every day. And these women are still stuck in the same spot. And it's like, do you want to wake up and be 50 and still single? Do you want to end up raising your child or children for their entire youth by yourself? Do you want to be single and out of practice of partnering with someone for 10 plus years? Is that what you want? Because that's what you're on the road to, and you have to be honest with yourself. If you have things that you need to address, a lot of times it's not even a matter of I can't meet someone. It's about, can you sustain a connection? And if you have unhealed, unaddressed issues within yourself that have shown themselves to be barriers to you having that kind of relationship in your past relationships, they're going to come up again. Those same issues you dealt with in your last relationship and the one before are going to come up again. Those same feelings you had of insecurity or anxious attachment or being an avoidant, which I don't meet too many women that are avoidant, but it happens. You're going to need to address those things. There's no reason to wait. It's literally one step at a time, one day at a time. You don't bite off more than you can chew, but you get the process started, because the time is going to pass anyway. July just started. We're already more than halfway through 2021. And so many women that I work with, who I'm available to, who I'm working with, they are not taking the opportunity seriously, and they are not doing the work, or they're halfway doing the work. They're not treating it like a priority. And anything that you don't treat like a priority, you cannot reasonably expect to see progress in. This is not like baking a cake. I'm going to throw it in the oven and come back and it'll be done. Like, no, this is not like that. You already know what taking the passive approach in your love life has done. You're living it. You're living the reality that the same mind that you're currently using has yielded to you. You already know, with your problem-solving skills that you've been using, with your thinking, your logic, you know what results you're going to get because they're the results you've been getting. You can have something more. You can get a different outcome. You have to believe that putting in the effort is worth it, that you can get results if you actually try, if you actually attempt to do the homework. And I'm saying this because I've been there. I am someone who is in love with taking courses, and there's so many courses that I've taken that I have not completed the work. But you know what? When you don't complete the work, when you don't show up and give it your all, you can't expect the full results. You can't expect the great mind-blowing outcomes. Anything you get when you're putting in half-assed effort is just a blessing, honestly. But yeah, that's the true testament to how bad do you want something. Are you willing to inconvenience yourself? Are you willing to spend time? Are you willing to do something that's uncomfortable to get what you want? Like, there's billions of men out there that are single and want a relationship or are open to one, even if they don't know they're open to one. You being in your feminine energy, you can suddenly make a man realize, hey, you're missing out by not having me in your life, because I bring peace, I bring joy, bring happiness, I just being in my presence makes you feel like more of a man. You feel that hero energy, that ego boost, that men love, where they feel powerful and feel like a king being next to a queen. And these things are available to you. And I'm telling you this because I really had to work hard to get my relationship. And my relationship is not perfect by far. It's not perfect, but you're not going to get a perfect man because there is not one. You're going to get a man who you can deal with his issues and he can deal with yours. That's who you're going to end up with. And there will be times where you'll question, do I want to deal with this? Is this worth it? Should I go for somebody else? Should I jump back into the dating pool? But you know what helps me is remembering how long I was in the dating pool and remembering what it was like. Let the experiences you have now kind of shape your perspective once you do get into a relationship. Look at the type of men you're meeting. Look at the common themes that you saw. Look at the things that you liked and didn't like about the whole dating process. And ask yourself, do you want to jump back into that? Or would it be better for you to get some counseling, get some coaching, read a book, pray, not necessarily in that order, but would it be better for you to ride this situation out? Would it be better for you to learn to practice acceptance? Would it be better for you to stick it out with your mate rather than jumping out there and getting somebody new and having to start all over with them? That's the type of skill and commitment you're going to need to stay in a relationship. And a lot of women are not practicing that now in their single life. So I get really concerned for what they're going to do when and if they get in a relationship, because it's not all going to come easy. It's not all going to feel good. It's going to take work. Relationships are work. They are work. Taking care of yourself and getting your own mind right is work. And you don't get to skip it. All you do is prolong it. But meanwhile, while you're prolonging it, you are having experiences along the way. You're meeting people along the way. And you could be incurring more damage. You could be picking up more limiting beliefs that affirm the wrong things to you. Heartbreak can occur. I think the more years someone stays single, they tend to think like, there's no love out there for me. There's no man out there for me. All men are this way. Reality just shows you what you are already thinking. It just reaffirms what's already in you. So the longer you're staying single, the longer and more potently you're going to believe that relationships are hard, that a good relationship is hard to find, that all the men out there just want one thing. They don't want to be in relationships. They all cheat. They all this, they all that. And if that's what you believe, that's what you will get. I am very dedicated to helping women get what they want out of life, out of their relationships, and their experiences with men. But it takes effort. And it's not just sitting listening to me. I mean, that helps. That helps reframe your mind. That helps open you up to different possibilities. But there is some work that you have to do on your own. And when I give journal prompts, when I give homework, when I seek participation on certain things, it's not just for funsies. It's because I'm trying to help you cut through what's been in your way. It won't just go away. You're not going to wake up one day and it just goes away. It's literally wired in your brain. And how do you rewire your brain? How do you change the way that your brain processes information? How do you change your vantage point in the world? It's through repetition. It's through continually choosing to shift into a different thought, a different feeling, a different belief. Um, it's through consistency, and it takes effort. And there is no point in thinking about the people that don't have to do it, because we all have to do it about different things. Even the women who have a happy or seemingly happy relationship, they still have to rework their perspective and their mind on certain things. I still have to do it, because that's how you resolve conflict within the relationship. That's how you stay in a relationship and don't let it take you out. Don't let it result in the end of you and your partner. So these are skills that I'm asking you to cultivate now, that you will use the rest of your life. It's valuable stuff. So I want you all to really think about how you're standing in your own way. How you may be thinking that you're doing everything, or thinking that it's too much work, or asking why questions, when asking why is really not helpful. You need to just look at what options are in front of you to resolve your problem, and then choose a path and pursue it. Asking why is just going to get you caught on a loop of self-pity, of comparison, of asking questions that there are no answers to. This is the point you find yourself at in your life. You need to get some assistance, some guidance on how to do relationship, how to shift into your feminine energy, how to interact with men, how to sustain a relationship, how to balance having a full personal life and a romantic life. These are not things that you know inherently how to do, otherwise you would have been doing them. These are areas that you need some support. Take the support that's offered if you value the final outcome, which is having a partner, having a relationship, not doing life alone. And I've even asked, to look at why you want a partner, why you want a husband or boyfriend or whatever. What do you get out of it? Because those are going to be your why. Why am I doing this? Because I want someone to help me raise my kids, because I want to have more kids, because I want to be married, I want to be a wife, I want to have a companion for the rest of my life, I want to have someone to do life with, I want to have someone to share the burden of the household bills and chores, and someone to kill bugs and change light bulbs and take the trash out. I want to have someone who I can go on trips with, someone who's praying for me. I want to have one consistent partner to be monogamous with, that I don't have to worry about going from partner to partner, and the consequences, potential consequences of that. There's lots of reasons why someone might say, I want to be a wife, I want to be a girlfriend, I want to be in a relationship. So remember those motivating factors, and just look logically at where your life is at now, what the outcomes you've gotten with the mindset that you've been carrying. What have they gotten you? Where are you at? What kind of results have they yielded you? And be honest, get real with yourself about, is this even working? My client who has spent 2 years mulling over if she's going to do coaching, I can only help so much. And even if I was to do everything for free, the thing is, there has to be some kind of meeting in the middle. When you invest in yourself, when you allow yourself to buy into a process, you actually open the gateway for whatever you're doing to completely penetrate your life and your psyche. When something is free and you're not invested, you can kind of take it or leave it. A lot of people don't take it seriously, and if it doesn't work, there's no skin off their back because they didn't have to put up anything. But when you do have something on the line, when you have invested money, you have invested time, you have committed, there is extra motivation to do what you have to do to make it work, so that all of that's not in vain, so that you get your desired results. And the lower the investment, the more likely the person is not going to apply the full effort. They're not going to take it as seriously as they could, would, should, because there's nothing at risk. There's no risk involved. And a lot of times when we're talking about making these significant life and mindset changes, it's uncomfortable. And if there is nothing motivating you to do the work when it gets hard, you won't. If there was nothing at risk, if it wasn't costing you anything, if everything was free, you would graze on it. You would listen when you felt like it. You would do what you felt like doing. If you felt like doing anything, you may not even look at it or worry about it at all, and your life wouldn't change. And that's not me being of service to you. That's almost a waste of your time, because you're not listening to me or part of this program because you didn't have anything else to do. You're here to get results, and that's what I'm here for too. I'm not just talking about these things and teaching and sharing because, I enjoy just running my mouth. It's not that. I want to see women, single moms, women of color, women who've been single for years and years. I want to see them find love, find a relationship that's lasting. I want to see them feeling fulfilled. I want to see them getting the commitment and the attention and feeling feminine and feeling cherished and sought after and good about themselves again. I want that, and I wanted it for myself. I want it for the women who are drawn to me, who are in my tribe, who are in my space. And I recognize that if someone doesn't help, if someone doesn't share what they know works, then we will just keep raising more and more generations of women and girls who don't know, who are lost, and we'll have more and more baby mamas and less wives, more and more breakups and divorces, and women who never marry but wanted to. And I don't want that. That's sad to me. And that's, a mission that I'm here to tackle. So, anywho, I need to run into the store. So I'm going to wrap up this video. But if you have any questions, let me know. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.